Is General Greene. God bless Jesus Christ, of course, is King. And this live stream just randomly started as I was getting it prepared, but maybe that is God's will. It is Monday and a massive cyber event has been confirmed. You and I were right. Last Thursday was the big day. Bank of America had a huge cyber event that was reported on Down Detector. Thousands of people reported their bank accounts at zero. You reported it first. I put it out there. We had a massive story. Millions of people confirmed what we saw. Now, keep in mind, this happened on Thursday. And yes, I've got a co-anchor here today. This is Sunshine. By the way, Sunshine, say hi to the beautiful audience. This happened on Thursday of all days. But here is what is crazy. Just like I had said that a cyber event was attacking the United States of America, you're right. This has now been confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. So 14 million Americans have been affected by a water cyber attack. A water cyber attack. And this is just coming out now. But here's what's interesting. Guess when they said it happened? Also on Thursday. The general was right again. So we are at war, ladies and gentlemen. You are at war. This is World War III. Again, we saw this with Verizon also going down during the same week. I have like 10, I think 11, maybe 10, 11 phones and multiple carriers. All of my Verizon cell phones were on SOS help mode for the entire day last week as well. So now it's been confirmed. Yes, Tweety. This is why you also need to follow me on X, what used to be called Twitter, so you can hang out with Sunshine and I at AMTV Media. By the way, on a personal note, we have had a family death in our family as a part of my extended family. I'm not going to go to a whole lot of details, but we've had to do, really hard things like plan for the funeral and get some ducks in a row. It's why I'm currently out of state, out of Hawaii, taking care of business and helping people out that really need it in a time of need. So prayers are much appreciated. Also, on a personal note, Papa John is actually in Seoul, South Korea right now. His beautiful wife, Yumiko, as all of you know, won Mrs. Tokyo of Japan. She actually took gold, and now she's competing in the world competition among every single nation state in the world in South Korea. Pretty darn cool. Let me grab my laptop here, and let's talk about this cyber event that has now been revealed to the American public October 7th, because they never tell you when it's actually happening. They tell you after the fact. Why would they do that? Well, because they're covering it up. Ladies and gentlemen, they're covering all of this up. They don't want you to know about any of this. They don't want you to get prepared until it's too late. They don't want your money out of the banks. They want to seize your money. And I think a lot of you think that when I make comments like that it's fear-mongering or it's a joke. No, folks, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious that most Americans will have their financial accounts seized in the coming months during World War III, which is what you're in now. I also do want to mention it is October 7th today. It's 1 year after the tragic day in Israel. So certainly hearts and prayers out to everybody. But what we've seen happen as a result of that is now World War III. So Israel is at war along with the United States, because keep in mind, basically Israel is the United States. We saw Donald Trump today, he had a yarmulke on, paying his respects. I think that that's fantastic that he would do that, but it really is important that you understand, tuning in, that the United States really is the United States of Israel. Now that Israel is at war with 5 different countries, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Gaza, and Iran, the big one. Here's how I'll tell you that we all know that the war with Iran is imminent, of which Joe Biden, who's not the shot caller on any of this, the deep state is, of course. I mean, he's got Alzheimer's. He's grossly diseased in his brain. I mean, they covered that up his entire administration. It's just absolutely terrible. I mean, to think about that he's incompetent, literally pooping his pants over the last 4 years. That's not a joke. I mean, he wears diapers. This has been confirmed by Secret Service. There's been multiple incidences. And do you remember that story that we broke months and months ago where we said there was an emergency health event for Joe Biden and people said, oh no, that's a conspiracy? That's also come out as fact. So I'm just pointing out now that the war is heating up, and whether or not it's Biden or the remnants of his regime that are soon to launch attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities, it's not going to be a shift whether or not Donald Trump's in there either. In fact, Donald Trump said a couple days ago, well, I've been taking care of business out here in Arizona, taking a couple days off, of course, that yes, he will also attack Iran nuclear facilities. So, as I warned very cogently before everybody else, along with Sunshine over here, Tweety Bird, that there was a cyber event last week that was affecting everything from Verizon cell phones on SOS help mode. But in addition to that, also, it is now coming out because they covered it up. And let me make sure I'm connecting to the internet here real quick. Give me 1 second. Well, I'll go ahead and do that. Make sure I got a good connection. And we have 14 million people, it's come out, that have now been affected by a water cyber attack. So let me go here. I'm going to log in because I had some great articles that I wanted to share with you, but I didn't have them ready because this live stream just started randomly when I clicked a button. Not really sure how that happened. So let's see if I can connect here. There we go. And let me pull up this article and let's break this down. So American Waterworks has now admitted that yes, General Greene, along with all of you, was right, that a cyber event has hit multiple companies, from the banks like Bank of America to Verizon Wireless, which was down for an entire day, to now one of America's, if not the largest water supplier, American Waterworks. This is CBS News. And so let me read this to you verbatim. It says, American Waterworks, a supplier of drinking water and wastewater services to more than 14 million people on Monday in multiple states, said hackers had breached its computer networks and systems, prompting it to pause billing to customers. So first questions would be, is your water poisoned now? Have 14 million Americans potentially been poisoned? This is possible because they're only allowing us this information. They're only telling us this now. This happened on Thursday. So if you hadn't boiled your water properly, if children, God forbid, have been drinking the water, these are serious questions that we would have to, go investigate this very day. It says the Camden, New Jersey-based utility became aware of the unauthorized activity on Thursday and took protective steps, including shutting down certain systems. Okay, that's good. American Waterworks stated in a regulatory filing, the company does not believe its facilities or operations were impacted beyond the cybersecurity impact, but it is currently unable to predict the full impact. That's hilarious. So it doesn't know. So what I'm pointing out is that this company manages more than 500 water and wastewater systems in about 1,700 communities in the following states: California, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, Missouri, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. So this is crazy, and no one has connected these dots yet, only you and I here with General Greene. This happened on Thursday. So again, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure this out. Folks, Tweety Bird, you agree with me, right, Sunshine? We do not have to be geniuses here to realize that when the cyber attacks hit on Thursday, the same week where Verizon Wireless was down, and also Bank of America and all of its accounts were showing zero balances, that at the same day, this large water company that also has services in all these states just mentioned also had a huge cyber attack. So what do you guys think is happening? What do you think is going on? Well, I'll tell you what I think, and I said this last week. I think a cyber event in a virus has been released, and I think it's just started. I think it's affected America's systems, companies. I think it's affected infrastructure, utilities, water, cellular, the list goes on and on. This could be an enemy nation rogue state like Iran, which we're obviously currently at war with, or it could even be our own government for all we know. Because again, we have to ask these critical questions. Who would have motive? Who would be most motivated? Again, get your pipe. It's like we're Sherlock Holmes. To stage an event like this, to then blame it on the enemy that they already are at war with, that they want to go to war with. That would make sense, right? But we're going to talk about even more critical and crucial stories here today, because it's not just that we've been proven correct, 100% correct with multiple predictions of bank runs, which we've seen so many companies and banks go to zero. Just check the FDIC failed bank list over at the FDIC to learn more about that. And also ask your bank if they have any reserve requirements. They don't. They got rid of all of those during the lockdowns of 2020. So that means that there's no money at the financial institutions. Either will you keep your bank, in addition to the fact that it appears Bank of America, like I said, was hacked on Thursday. The same day, this big giant water supplier to all these multiple states was also hacked. You know what's going to happen next, and we all know it, because I've reported on this for years. It's going to be an EMP or electromagnetic pulse or some kind of EMF, electromagnetic frequency situation. They even came out, because NASA thinks we're stupid. They told us that they have technology to shoot laser beams across space. Well, wait a minute. Hey, Tweety Bird, if they could do that, couldn't they also start fires doing that? Couldn't they also manipulate the weather, Sunshine? See, even Sunshine agrees. We all know that this is the truth. In fact, we've even seen politicians pretty much go on a rampage in recent days, also suggesting that yes, weather warfare is real, that they're modifying our skies, that they're spraying chemtrails, and they're also doing things like cloud seeding, which is all admitted by all of our institutions and elite universities like Harvard, for example. These are topics that all of the elites are now coming out into the open saying, yes, they are doing this stuff. It wasn't a conspiracy. They were just lying, just like they lie about everything else. I mean, case in point, do you guys remember when they told us that Vladimir Putin was ill? That was a huge story about a year ago, or over the last couple of years. They told all of us that Vladimir Putin was sick, that he had like a cough and he was shaky. Remember that? They said that Vladimir Putin was going to die soon. They said that he had cancer or some kind of advanced late-stage Parkinson's. Well, instead of that being true, the opposite was true. In fact, Vladimir Putin just had his birthday today. Happy birthday, Vlad. I think you just turned 72 or 73. You're a spry, early 70-year-old. I mean, still kicking butt, still ruling his country. It's only the United States of America's president who's pooping his pants. See how always the opposite is the truth? It's not that Putin is sick, it's that Biden was sick. It's not that America is strong, it's actually that it's been weakened by intent and by design by the radical left. Also, I must comment, we did get a crazy day. What was it, a day ago or 2 days ago? I don't know. We were traveling a little bit that day, but I know that Trump came back to Butler, Pennsylvania, and gave his big rally speech with Elon Musk. And it was a little strange and kind of a cult. Did you notice Elon Musk was wearing all black and he called himself Dark MAGA? Kind of reminded me of like Star Wars or something, or Luke, I am your father. Because it's like weird. Like, why would you call yourself Dark MAGA? And then he abruptly changed his profile pic from a profile pic of Satan. For those of you that follow Elon Musk, he's the most followed person in the world on X. He's been wearing a Satan ball demonic costume for the last couple of years, and now he just switched it to what? Dark MAGA. All black, wearing a black hat. And it was weird because I see symbols very easily as a part of my spiritual side of me. And I noticed that when he jumped up and made the real weird face, he was like, remember he put both of his arms up? And the picture that was taken I thought was so iconic. It was kind of like the fight photo of Trump. But in the case of Elon, he was situated behind Trump and it actually looked like horns. Am I the only one that picked up on that? I know I put it out on X. Those tweets actually went viral because I just asked people what they think. Like, do you think it's weird that Elon Musk is now saying that he's a follower of the dark side? I think it's like literally kind of strange. I mean, my kids love Star Wars. One of my sons always likes to pretend he's Darth Vader. And so I'll have fun with them as we're driving in one of our Jeeps or something. And I'll be like, I'll play the Star Wars soundtrack and pretend that we're, flying through space. And then I'll tell him of targets coming up and when we're gonna take out the enemy. He thinks it's a lot of fun. But we're just kidding around. My question is Elon Musk serious? And from a spiritual perspective, I'm very concerned where people like Elon Musk and others may be leading the right-wing conservatives. For example, as a Christian, somebody who loves freedom and free speech and all those amazing things and only follows and kneels for Christ alone, I do have some concerns about Elon Musk because, well, he's not a Christian. And I see a lot of Christians and evangelicals on the right following him blindly when he's not even of their same faith. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that the conservative right and the Republicans know that he's not a Christian? Or do you think they're just okay following him as the new leader, so to speak, of the conservative evangelical right? I just find it a little strange that that's actually what's been happening. And it kind of makes me wonder if Musk has political aims himself post a Trump presidency. And keep in mind that Elon Musk's close friend and business associate, Peter Thiel, they founded all these modern internet companies today that, of course, are very connected to the government, receive billions of subsidies, and work directly with the Pentagon and the quote-unquote deep state. Like Peter Thiel are actually the people that are backing Trump's running mate. J.D. Vance was put there by Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. And now Elon Musk is partnering with Trump. And Peter Thiel, who's funded Trump's first presidency, now appears to be funding the second. It just kind of makes you wonder who the real president is. I think critically along with a lot of you, and I just think that the presidency is really a placeholder. It's not a real position. It's kind of like the CEO, but the guy really wearing the pants, you don't see his face. It's kind of like that. Now, let's get into these strange weather warfare events currently taking place. Not only did we see, and I personally lived through the tragedy in Maui, I was there when Lahaina blew up. Well, we're very lucky that we weren't in the fire. We were just down the street from it. And I remember a big Armageddon mushroom nuclear cloud blew up. And then all the cops locked down people and entrapped those in Lahaina and wouldn't let them escape. This is also very, not just confirmed, but I was on the ground as an eyewitness. I saw it happen. In fact, the only people that survived actually disobeyed the authorities and busted through where they had blocked everybody in and basically corralled them almost like cattle in a very terrible situation that cost a lot of lives. Now we've seen the same type of events, but even magnified, happen in places like North Carolina. And then days later, after it hasn't even been repaired, and the government is preventing real Americans from getting help and aid to the location, they did the same thing in Maui. Now it appears that a storm that's never happened before, like in thousands of years, is developing from the east and about to direct hit Tampa. Strange, isn't it? Well, I had a couple questions about that. One thing I was thinking about, well, man, how are all these conservative states going to vote for Donald Trump when they're being wiped out and they're enforced evacuations right now? And then could it be some kind of cyberkinetic event? Because it's also confirmed now, according to the mainstream media. Like here, check it out. This is CBS News. They've confirmed what I told you a week ago, that this water supplier, American Water Works, right here, if you can see that, yes, had a cyber event, which potentially could have poisoned the water, or it might not be clean. And it's affected multiple states in the dozens. So my question is America's enemies launching a coordinated cyber event, which I believe is now confirmed, of infrastructure, banking systems, your cell phone, soon to be probably the electrical grid, which you could only imagine. I mean, if the power went out in very warm states like Arizona, I mean, that would be the worst of the worst. Like, It's October and the heat is still well into the hundreds, if not 110 degrees. You can only imagine what would happen to the elderly and those that are not in good health in an environment like that. And so in addition to all of these cyber events that are now confirmed that have been going on, are we also seeing this with geoengineering of our weather? And could this be a ploy of either the radical left and the failing Joe Biden, Kamala placeholder regime, or could it be even worse? Could it be a rogue nation state? Could it be Iran? Could it be America's enemies that might have intent by design to, well, fight war in non-traditional ways? Again, this has been my primary theme really for the last year or two, is that I told you that the war is going to be a different type of war. It's going to be a technological war, which is what we have now. Also, if you've been affected by the latest American Waterworks cyber attack and event, please let us know. Also, I'd like to hear your thoughts on North Carolina and also what's coming tragically to Florida. Our hearts and prayers go out to all of you. It is important to note that this water cyber event is not just affecting civilian homes, but also military installations, which leads me to believe that yes, we've been right. The cyber event has just started. Now, I want you to think about this if we are correct about this, and this has just begun with Verizon Wireless, Bank of America, now this water company affecting civilians and military installations, and then it keeps growing kinetically during war, and especially during the attack of the West, United States and Israel, which are about to blow up all of Iranian nuclear facilities and start a much larger war, not just in the air and on the ground. Is it possible that this all escalates? Could it get much worse? Could this be the start of what we've been warning about for a very long time? Well, I think it may be. I love you all. I certainly appreciate you all. Thank you for giving me a few days to take care of some business. Again, we had a family relative on my extended family side just passed, so I've been focused on that. That's why I haven't done any content in the last couple days. Also have amazing news. We're about to close on 2 new properties for islandproject.com. Our real estate company, of course. We're the first in the world to tokenize no bank debt real estate outside of the banks before they collapse. Because again, I told you that bank runs are coming and that hyperinflation will continue and that commodity prices will continue to soar, especially high-end housing like what the Island Project owns. We own 10 to 12 properties in the best locations in the world. For those of you that don't know, in Maui, Oahu, Waikiki, all on the beach and ocean, and we just purchased a $6 million ski lodge in Park City, Utah. I'll be paying that a visit very soon, and I encourage you to learn more by either visiting our website at islandproject.com and joining us with your first 30 units today while you still can, and or calling my dad, Papa John Greene, Vice President, at 808-442-2934. Go ahead and make sure you do that because it's proved the point how valuable everything that we've been doing truly is. Now, gold prices are also soaring. I believe we're about to hit 5,000 an ounce. And I also think that oil will hit 200 to 300 a barrel very soon. This is going to be a worst case scenario for, prices of commodities. It's going to be a worst case scenario for the dollar as we see it continue to lose dramatic value every single month. The Federal Reserve, of course, has nothing left that they can do. I mean, even if they cut interest rates another 50 basis points, there'd still be massive hyperinflation. The debt is at an astonishing, never will be repaid back, 35 trillion. And it doesn't matter who gets into Washington, they're all going to print more money. This means that the Island Project is going to continue to grow in value. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to keep going up, 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 up. And we are set to tokenize here in 24 as we posture for 2025, which I believe is going to be the biggest asset bubble that we've ever seen in world history, which is why we don't have any bank debt. It's very important because, most companies have leverage. The banks, again, don't have any of your money. They have 0% reserve requirements. The FDIC insurance program's bankrupt. For those of you that don't know, I encourage you to study that. There is no safeguard. And of course, your bank is centrally at risk because it's a centralized institution. There is talk, too, on Wall Street that Bank of America is very soon to collapse. which I actually think is going to happen because it's a bellwether stock. It's the symbol of America that I believe the elites would need to usher in another crisis for more bailouts. I also think it's why Warren Buffett sold most of his stock recently in Bank of America and also Apple Computers because, well, the elites are getting ready. Just like Elon Musk has said that if Donald Trump doesn't get in, America is just going to collapse. I actually believe him and think he's right. Peter Thiel thinks the same thing, and that's what I've been saying as well. And it's why it's so important to take action with your preps, with your food, with your water, as we're seeing with the hurricanes. You know, buying real assets, getting outside of the banks and deploying it into true opportunities and world-class investments like islandproject.com at the digital Noah's Ark. We are #1 in the world for a reason. Just like my father's beautiful wife won all of Tokyo as Mrs. Universe. I mean, dude, do you know Tokyo is 3 times the size of Japan, or excuse me, of New York City? 3 times the size of New York City. And we just won the whole thing because we're winners. And again, you can't stop freedom and liberty. You can never stop the general. We're the all-American team along with you. And I love you so much. We're taking America back, and it truly is a privilege to be building everything we're building with the digital Noah's Ark, to report these stories to you. And not only have we been getting it right, we're helping you to pivot, leverage, and profit from what's about to happen next. For those of you that don't know, they'll be resetting us outside of the petrodollar soon. And we're all moving to blockchain technology, and they're creating hyperinflation by design. It's actually what they want. And the wars will be the excuse that the elites use, just like they used it as an excuse during World War I and World War II to, of course, reset the system. It's also why they targeted people, you, in 2020, because we're getting the logistics ready for what you're living through now, which is what I told you, that when the lockdowns hit, you shouldn't comply, because that was a signal by the evil satanic cabal that they were prepping all of you for world war. But where we're going is not an America that we want. And I think that's what's important. And this is why people are gravitating to Trump. And it's why conservatives are even supporting Elon Musk, who's not even a Christian. It's just because they're, wanting something better. They don't want America to collapse. And I'm totally with you guys. I don't want it to collapse either. But my point being is, don't just rely on politics. Guarantee your success along with us. Guarantee your cash flows. Guarantee that your money won't be seized at your financial institution. Guarantee that you're not going to wake up tomorrow and your Bank of America statement isn't going to show 0 online. Guarantee that you've got large capital gains at islandproject.com by investing with your first 30 units now. Guarantee that you've rolled over your 401k and IRA before the bank runs hit before the election, which we're just about 30 days out or less from the most imminent D-Day election that I think is the most important one that we've ever had. And I'm not the only one saying it. So please get ready. Get ready with your money. Get ready with your preps. Get ready with food and water, knowledge, and also, #1, get ready with the Lord. I've been praying a lot, especially in recent days, especially with the passing of a loved one, which is always very hard. And, I've been contemplating a lot of things, and it really has reinvigorated me and proved the point, like I think I've always shared with you guys from the bottom of my heart, how important, and Sunshine knows this, the 1000x mindset is. Because life is very short, and what we do today actually does matter. Joining islandproject.com does matter. It's a game changer. It changes your life. Once we tokenize and go to $1 billion, that'll minimum, and I think we're going to go 1000x, but a minimum 30x will make all of our members with just 30 units millionaires. Because 30x of 30,000 is going to put you at $900K to $1 million+ very easily. My father's already told you this. He's done videos on it. He says that on the low end, like being very conservative and pragmatic, that when we tokenize our $33.5 million no bank debt asset of 10 to 12 amazing, beautiful luxury properties in Maui, Oahu, Waikiki, Park City, Utah, soon to be Bali, Thailand, and so many more amazing diverse locations, decentralized and diversified. Even if we just go to $1 billion, everyone's going to become rich. Not just Bitcoin rich, but islandproject.com rich. It's important to understand Bitcoin's not going to 1000x now, guys. Only islandproject.com is. It's why we've built it for this exact moment in time, this exact moment of history, while these huge Category 5 storms are just wrecking entire states, as the cyber events have now been confirmed, which we all predicted, as hyperinflation continues, which we told you was going to happen, as the petrodollar collapses, and now Bitcoin replaces, along with blockchain technology, all of the world's real asset bases, which is why we built Island Project. It's why BlackRock is in. It's why they're moving you to a different currency. It's why NVIDIA stock is trading at new all-time highs, because the dollar isn't backed by oil. It's going to be backed by blockchain tech. And this is what a lot of people still don't understand. It's more powerful than gold and precious metals, although I love precious metals and gold, and I think gold will hit 5,000 an ounce very soon. Again, I don't think most Americans are going to be able to even afford gasoline very soon. It's going to get that bad. But get your head into a positive frame of mind and assure your success no matter what. Don't rely on the politics. Don't rely on the vote. What if the election doesn't even happen? Then what are you going to do? Or what if Trump doesn't get in? Then what? What's the plan B? Let's pray all those great things happen and kick major butt with 1000X at islandproject.com. God bless. We love you. Sunshine loves you as well. We'll have more videos like these soon, and I'll make sure to repost them, and make sure to follow me, not just on X at AMTV Media, but also Rumble, which has our full archive of videos at AMTV Media, and also, well, Facebook as well, for those of you that aren't there. But those are some alternative areas to get all of our archive, as you know, things are heating up before the election. So we can only say so much, if you know what I mean, now with 30 days left, because we know who owns the media, guys. We know who owns all the banks. We know who owns all of Hollywood. We know who owns the American political system. We know who owns those companies that locked everyone down. It's the same people. You know who these people are, and they're not the Republicans, and they're not the conservatives, and they're not people like you and I that just want a better life for our kids and our families, and are focused on hope and Jesus and these kinds of things. These people truly are evil, and we pray for them. We pray for our enemies. So just understand, it's getting harder and harder to get the truth out. It's why it's really important that you activate into real world projects like ours while you still can. Hey Lou, what's up? What's up for? What's up Hilda? What's up Ben? What's up Sunbolt? Want to see it at islandproject.com. I got a lot of calls to make as I'm playing a little catch up over the last couple of days. But it's just been confirmed that yes, we were correct. A massive cyber attack hit last week, affecting Verizon, Bank of America. That's why all those accounts showed zero. And now it's being confirmed, because they lied and didn't tell you about it, that one of America's largest water companies, well, all the water could have just been poisoned for all we know. They said it also happened on the same day, Thursday, which was the same day Bank of America crashed to zero. I wonder what's next. Will it be all electricity? Will it be the gas pump? Will it be another possible geo-engineered Category 5 storm hitting your state or town? Or will it simply just be bank runs or a cyber event that affects the stock market? Ain't you glad that you own islandproject.com, a no bank debt asset that produces cash flows of something that's actually real, along with my team and my father at the Digital Noah's Ark? Absolutely. Because again, we've been planning for these events, but not just planning, we're profiting from them too. Pivot, leverage, and profit from what you know is going to happen next. They've already told us. They've telegraphed it. They said a cyber event was coming. They're telling you the dollar reset is here. Trump is all in Bitcoin. He's telling you Bitcoin's the future. Blockchain's the future. Tokenized real estate is the future. So don't wait, just get in now. Before it's too late. God bless. See you all soon, and please like and share this video and leave a comment. What do you think? And are you currently in the eye of the storm in Florida or North Carolina? Is your water affected by this new water supplier, American Waterworks, saying that their systems were hacked on Thursday? Are there things that we haven't reported on or that's been brought to my attention that I should share with the viewing public? I sure as heck would like to know, and we'll post another video very soon to update you on everything that's going on with just, 28 days, I think, or something left before the U.S. election, in which many believe will be a civil war. And even if the election happens, if it's not rigged, both parties say that they're not going to accept the results. I think that's why they produced that movie, Civil War. Remember the one that they put all over your television screens? Because they're getting us ready for Civil War. It's why the Obamas did that other movie, Leave the World Behind, because they're telling you that these events are going to happen, that Teslas will be remote controlled by the enemy or maybe the inside, and they're going to run into each other. I mean, that's what you've given up by giving yourself to this technology, is you've given your power away. And that's why you should buy real assets with us, and you should get on the right side of history and something you control before the banks collapse.